you see the players entering the field of play here at the Serbian Sports Centre out here in Melbourne's southeast. Well, it's a bye week for most sides, but not all, because it's catch-up round here in NPL Victoria, and we get set to bring you a delayed fixture, but a fixture that should prove some interesting viewing nonetheless, as Springvale White Eagles get set to host Melbourne City Youth. My name is Joey Lynch. Thank you for joining us today on the NPL Victoria Facebook and YouTube pages. As I said, rather intriguing contest coming up today for Springvale White Eagles. Well, unfortunately for them, their season pretty much, well, over at this point, let's be charitable. Can't make it up into the top six to remain in the second tier of Victorian football next year, one would imagine. So they will be looking to play spoiler against the Melbourne City side, whose chances of remaining in that second tier are on life support. Heading into this game, back 9 points back of 6th placed Manningham United Blues, with just 5 games for them left on the season, 4 games for everybody else. So you would have to say a win today is something that is desperately required if they are to retain any sort of hope. My name is Joey Lynch. Thank you for joining me today, as I said, and we'll take you through the team lineups now before we get started. For the hosts, number 2, Ethan Rosemond; number 3, Nenad Nikolic; number 7, Brody Quinn; number 8, Jordan Siamoa; number 9, Stefan Titsmil; number 10, Milan Jovanovic; number 14, Gerasimos Cavadas; number 21 in goal, Luke Saunders; number 20, Andrea Getsovic; number 29, William Zetune; and number 33, Jackson Lino. As we're briefly pausing before kickoff for some team photos for either side. No doubt that photo will end up on the Instagram pages of a few of the Melbourne City boys. They do love themselves a bit of the social work. So as we get set to kick off, Springvale White Eagles kicking from right to left on your screen, wearing their traditional home kits of red top, blue shorts and white socks, and the visiting Melbourne City kicking from left to right on your screen in their home kits. No clash here, so both sides in their home kits of all sky blue. Springvale quickly gets going down the left flank. It will be immediately turned over, and then City will come away with it through a rather more well-known face in this City lineup. No, your eyes do not deceive you, so I'll take you through the City side. In goal, number 1, Ahmed Talib; number 4, Nick Hatzigeorgiou; number 5, Mark Karlich; number 7, Yaya Dukuli; number 10, you just saw him then, Rami Najarine, making a rare appearance these days for Melbourne City's NPL side. There's a long ball he's played over the top, but it's immediately chased down. Played out to Hatzigeorgiou on the right flank for City, and as well as Rami Najarine, we've got number 14, Moody Najar. So Najar and Najarine, the 2 A-League listed players, dropping down into the NPL's side today. They're joined by number 26, Harry Politidis; number 37, Luke Oresti; number 38, Emil Payos; and number 41, Jordi Valadon. Perhaps a bit of a reunion for Springvale White Eagles. Number 3, Nenad Nikolic, was a Springvale junior, but did spend some time in the Melbourne City Academy before returning out to Melbourne Southeast. And as Hatzigeorgiou gets it forward to Najarine, and Najarine attempts to lace the ball down the flank, but it's quickly cut out by Lino. Thrown in by Abdullahi. Ramadan. Tidis gets it, playing it a nice bit of combination play, but it's quickly cut out by Siamar. Fighting for the ball there, Roseman coming under pressure, and eventually he will lose it to Yaya Dukuli. Yaya Dukuli setting up Rafael Borges Rodriguez for City's first goal last week against Ballarat. And out to Payos. They just splay the ball across the field for Najarine, but Najarine's touch wouldn't it? Well, it let him down, but it didn't matter in the end because he had strayed into an offside position in the build-in to the play. And it will be Nenad Nikolic who will take the resulting free kick. So it's been a wet and wild day in Melbourne so far today. Rain has buffeted the field, as you saw at the very, very, very top of the broadcast. A few puddles around here at Serbian Sports Centre, but the sun is shining right now. Some wind, but nothing that should disturb either side, as we see City collect the ball on the left flank. Back to Payos, who then goes back to Karlic, who's playing in an unfamiliar centre-back position today. He's normally a left-back, is Karlic, but in his return from suspension has been thrown into the heart of defence alongside Hatzigeorgiou. Hatzigeorgiou coming forward, trying to break through the channels. He's going to play a ball over the top to Dakuli. Wasn't the most comfortable collections in the world by Luke Saunders, falling over himself, but he will collect it now. There's a chance for Springvale on the break. It's a nice combination there as Rosemond brings Springvale forward. Palatidis nipping across to get in the way and steal the ball back for City. Payos now. Ivanovic coming over to apply the pressure, and it will spill out to Siamoa. Rosemond. He'll turn the ball back over, and now there's a chance for City to switch it, break quickly if they can, and Payos does attempt a long diag out to Rami Najjarine, but it bounces off the back of Rami Najjarine. Instead, it will be turned over, and now Springvale a chance to come forward until the rest he gets in there. And Nikolic plays it across to Dakuli. First time ball looking for Najjar. He's put it away. Dakuli will get a second bite of the cherry, but that's excellent defending from Springvale to break away with the ball, and now they can break up the field. Got Titsmill and Brady Quinn waiting in the middle. Cries of bravo from the City bench, however, head coach Peter Kratke's side wins the ball back. Payos. Karlic. Hatzigeorgiou. Quinn opts not to challenge him, and Hatzigeorgiou will take advantage to play a ball over the top of Najjarine. Najjarine will chase it down. He's got Najjar waiting in the middle. Plays a ball in, but it's cleared away well by the Springvale defence. Nice getting chase. Rooted forward again by Jovanovic. Out wide to Cavadas. Rosemond rides the challenge well and cuts back inside. And Brady Quinn is all on his own here on the left flank if he can get it across. But the pass, well, Abdullahi let it run long. I'm not sure if he was aware Quinn was there, but he got across in time and he'll play it back to Talib. But Talib's attempted clearance goes straight out. And it's cleared up once again. Najjarine will lose the ball to Lino. We'll get it to Quinn. Quinn will get it back from Titsmill. City back and forth action here. Neither side able to win a clean possession. Randomly Najjarine will get another go. Najjarine cuts in inside onto his strong left foot. He can have a shot! Wide of the post there from the young Socceroo. So the first real flash of danger for either side in the 7th minute. Rami Najjarine cutting inside and laying off a left-footed effort that goes wide. Played over the top, Najjar! Was offside in the build-up again, so Najjar just unable to time his run properly. Ball up, Hatzigeorgiou rises over Titsmill. And Brady Quinn comes under pressure from Aresti. And Aresti puts it out for a throw-in. Ball in the hands of Lino. Play back to Nikolic. And another chance. Roseman breaking through and he's played a ball in behind the defence. Quinn can run onto it. Quinn has a chance, but Taleb does well to get off his line quickly and boot the ball clear. Australian under 17 goalkeeper Taleb aware of the danger. Presented by Quinn. He did spend some time here at Springvale in his youth days, had a spell with Melbourne Victories Academy, and now once again he's pulling on the Springvale jersey. Najurine deep in his own half. One player 1-2 with Aresti. Strong sliding challenge now. Springvale win the ball back. Clever flick on Lino. Can he get the ball into the middle? He can, but it's booted back clear. And Lino lets that roll. Quick throw. Ball pass from Aresti. Now the ball is in the hands of Lino. So Springvale, another chance to box City in. And then on both Titzmill. They'll be waiting there and Taleb will collect. Springvale offense when it's cut out, but City can come again. Najar tries to play in behind Dukuli. Dukuli has some room to run. He'll cut the ball back. No, he won't. He'll have a shot, but it's over the top. Cutback was probably on there for the young City winger. Instead, he went backed himself, as you guess attacking players want to do, but that time it goes well over the bar as the wind begins to pick up here in Melbourne southeast. Short. Lino. And then the pressure from Abdullahi. And eventually City's pressure gives Springvale a free kick. Now once again giving Titzmill something to chase, but Massey Georgiou boots it back clear. Now Aresti has time. One comes from Najurine. So he looks for Najar, but it's headed clear. The ball is with Quinn. Inside onto his right boot, looking up, looking for options. Ivanovic just turns it over. City can't collect, and now Roseman will just watch it go over the line for a free kick for his side. Throw-in for his side, sorry. My apologies. So for Titzmill, it's a strong collection, but just nipping in his payoffs. And now the run continued. That was excellently done there from Cavadas to force City backwards, and Taleb just has to boot it clear. At the feet of Milan Jovanovic. Valadon. Kuli. To Valadon, the switch is on. Valadon's attempted pass is poor and it's cut out. Forward by Nikolic. Lino, excellent turn there around Aresti. Left him for dead. Sovic. Lino ignores the run of Quinn and cuts inside. Sovic. Long ball at the top looking for Jovanovic and Titzmill. Titzmill heads it over for Jovanovic. Jovanovic is still coming, but at the last second, City get in the way. Aresti. Quinn providing the challenge. Rami Najurine plays it back into the middle of the field for Idris Abdullahi, but Abdullahi's touch is heavy, allowing Gitsovic to slide in. Will go straight up in the air. Headed back by CMO and then played further all the way back to Saunders, who comes under pressure from Najar. Najar is so dangerous doing that. He'll run and run and run and apply pressure to the defence and goalkeepers. It's the type of strikers that defenders and goalkeepers hate to play against. Nikolic. Lino. We'll get it back from CMO. Anymore. Nikolic. City just consent to sit off until the cry comes in for Kratky to squeeze it, and Najar gives chase, forcing a long ball over the top. Abdullahi gets there ahead of Quinn. Measuring attempts to just flick it on, and Aresti will collect. Payos. Karlic. Mentioned Karlic playing for the first time since he copped a red card against Bulleen and had a 5-match suspension, which was served in both the NPL and the FFA Cup. Karlic again. It's not all the time in the world. He falls at the crucial moment, however. He still gets the ball out to Najarun on the second right flank. Abdullahi. Karlic. Poliatidis, Harry Poliatidis, just making his second senior NPL start. Payos. Beaten 2. He's tries to play the ball in behind the lines for Aresti, but it's cut out by Lino. Springvale can put this ball forward. Brady Quinn. There's too many men for him to beat, and so he can come again. He's around one brilliantly. Siamoa had no chance. He's still going, but then he falls over, and he's won his side a free kick here in a dangerous position. We head into the 15th minute here at the Serbian Sports Centre. Look at this. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Melbourne City players having a meeting. There are more City players standing over the ball than there are waiting for the free kick to come into the area. Now, earlier in the season, City did display some flair for the dramatic from set pieces. You have to wonder whether this is actually performance art or they are actually discussing who's going to take it. It's going to be Ravi Najareen standing over it with Aresti there as well. You have to think Najareen wants it. Najareen tries to play it quickly. Probably was a bit of performance art there, but Springvale well aware of the danger. Abdullahi, Aresti, Aladon, to Aresti. Georgiou now, he's got all the time in the world. He's wearing the captain's armband today, Sachi Georgiou. Normal centre back and captain Mitch Graham still injured. An injury that ruled him out of the Young Socceroos side. As that ball is chipped over the top of Dukuli. It would have been spectacular had it come off. But instead, wouldn't have counted in the end as Yaya Dukuli had wandered into an offside position. As I mentioned, City without the services of regular captain Mitch Graham today. Suffering an injury and missing the previous 2 games against the Goulburn Valley Suns and Ballarat, both losses. And also unavailable for selection for the Young Socceroos trip to Vietnam for the AFF Under-18 Championships. City missing 3 other representatives today to that squad. David Chick, Gianluca Yamucci and Alec Mills. All this with Springvale, another chance to come forward, but that throw's gone long. Nancy Georgiou has time to look up and splay a ball out wide for Najareen. Lino comes in to apply the pressure. Najareen twisting and turning, but Lino's done excellently to rob him of the ball. Quinn gets forward to Titzmiller, gets back at the Lino. Ball comes in. There's nobody there arriving for Springvale. Eventually it will have to be Kavardis to clean the ball up. Kavardis trying to get to the byline, but he's got the ball robbed of him. Jovanovic now comes across and he's going to loop a ball in. Brady Quinn waiting. Shot at the last second, was deflected by Abdullahi. He wouldn't have counted in the end as he had wandered into an offside position. So a let-off for City there, allowing the dangerous Brady Quinn to advance into the area. No punishment and the score will remain 0-0. a lot to do there, and he's not going to be able to collect it. Cavadas did come away with it, but then City swarming and get it back. Maladon, but Brady Quinn gets across so quickly and steals it from him. Nikolic plays the ball forward, but it's nobody in particular, and now it's with Hatzi Georgiou. Maladon had to leave it under pressure from Quinn. Najjarine won't keep it in. Fitzovich just plays it back to his defence. Eventually they will get it out onto the left flank for Lino. Lino coming forward looking for Brady Quinn. Excellently works. Lino's in tons of space. What can he do with it? Gets it forward to Titsman. Back to Lino. Now Quinn on the left flank. Working against Abdullahi. Najjarine provides the support, and eventually Springvale will just have to reset. Ball comes in over the top. Target was Cavadas, but Taleb gets off his line and collects strongly. Against Springvale. So a bit of competition there between Brady Quinn and Hatzi Georgiou. Know each other. Both of them were in the Victory Academy together at one point. Now, opposite sides of the field today, one wearing a Springvale top and the other one wearing a City shirt. Probably neither of them would have expected that back at the Victory Academy. Strong win favouring City's up all over the top for Aresti, who was offside. So that's I think that's the fifth time now that City has just wandered into an offside position as they attempt to play a ball in behind the Springvale lines, busted open. Disciplined White Eagles defence holding their lines well. Now that's deflected over the top of Najjar. What a save from Saunders. The A-League caps Najjar through one-on-one with the Springvale keeper, but he got down low to prevent the effort from finding the back of the net. Bailing out his defence there because the ball had snuck through. And now City will have to try again through a corner, which is taken short. And that Springvale immediately getting out and trying to force City backwards. It's come out here to pay us on the right flank now. Abdullahi. It's Georgiou. He did it again. Try ball over the top of Najjar. That's better. Najjar's timed his run. He'll flick it across. Najjarine! Goal to Rami Najjarine. The flag won't save Springvale that side. It was a perfectly weighted ball over the top for Mouni Najjar, and then Mouni Najjar got his head up quickly, saw the support coming in, and City find themselves now with a 1-0 lead here at the Serbian Sports Centre. Goal in the 22nd minute. The lethal duo of Najjar and Najjarine, Najjarine and Najjar. Say that 10 times fast. But they put City ahead. Melbourne City 1, Springvale White Eagles 0. City can come again. The ball played in behind the defence, looking for Najarian. He just tried to take it with him, just throwing the leg out at it. Couldn't make contact, but he's cleaned up and will now work against Lino out there on the right flank. Has Abdullahi in support, which he uses. It's Abdullahi. It's Giorgio. Giorgio runs in behind the defence, going again. But this time the pass not so perfectly weighted, and it will go through to the goalkeeper. Been trying to flick it on, but he's blocked in his attempt. So it goes to Abdullahi. Najjar flicks it over the top for Najjarine. He was offside again. Lino trying to win it back. They are still going. Referee letting them play here. Queen will put the ball out. Yes, another offside there. So City, they've got the lead, but you've got to think, if they could time their runs, could they be 3 or 4 ahead at this point? Well, perhaps maybe I'm probably not giving the Springvale White Eagles defence enough credit there. They are clearly able to catch this City front three out in offside positions. Free kick won by Springvale in the middle of the park, a chance to come out. A few of the City coaching staff near my broadcast position not a big fans of the decision. But regardless, Springvale can come forward once again. Poliatidis doing it back, but that's poor turnover. Now Springvale can come through. Eventually this shot did come in. It was Milan Jovanovic who picked out the ball from Poliatidis, but no real options presenting. He chose to go himself, and in the end, a relatively simple save for Taleb. As then that ball comes over the top. Nikolic giving chase. Lino is there as well. Najjarine for City. Nikolic will play it back to Saunders, who comes under an immediate pressure from Najjar. Wants to go long. Moved forward by Siamoa. Karlic is there. And he just can get it straight to Quinn. Brady Quinn. He's kept going, Brady Quinn. That's fantastic. He'll now get it across to Jovanovic. Still on for Springvale here. It's played into the middle to Kavadas. Taleb's come, but he's not going to get the ball. Kavadas shoots. Taleb gets down at the last moment to keep the ball out. He didn't have long to react there, did Taleb, but he's done enough. Now City can come forward. Abdullahi feints, and instead we're going to the middle to Payos. Cooley plays it through looking for Oresti, but Nikolic is there to just watch it roll over the line for a goal kick. Sure if you could hear that over the microphones, but I certainly could from my position. You could hear Ahmed Tala there in the City goals telling Remy Najjarine to always look for those balls in behind the Springvale defence because they are playing a high line. So the game plan of City evident. Now ball is played in over the top. Titsma will head it on looking for Jovanovic. City will cut it out. Giorgio will play ball over the top. Najjarine leaves it because he was offside. Najjar wasn't. Najjar gets a shove in the back, but he keeps going.
Riding the challenges is Najjar. Backwards and forwards, but eventually Lionel gets a boot in. Sliding challenge comes in, but Valadon collects, gets it back to Payos. City now will look to reset through Karlich. This pressure immediately comes in. He's forced to go shot to Poliatides. Then the sliding challenge again comes in. That time it was from Katsovic. See Springvale immediately getting up in the faces of their young opposition. Valadon is picked out by Nicholas, but there's nobody there waiting. See he'll come again. Nazarene cuts inside to time the runs, but eventually his pass was wayward. Sliding challenge comes in from Ilan Jovanovic. Valadon nips in to steal the ball away from him. But stop me if you heard this before. Melbourne City offside once again. Cooley keeps it in, just. Goes back to Oresti. Sliding challenge comes in, forces him to leave the ball, but then the strong challenge comes in from Siamoa, and Siamoa will find Brady Quinn. Working one-on-one with Abdullah. He comes inside and then plays the ball over the top, but there's nobody waiting there. Maybe a little too much on it for Titsmil, not enough on it for Cavardis. And in the end, it's Ahmed Saleh who's collecting the ball, but you could see what Brady Quinn was thinking there. He's had a bright start to this game for Springvale. Abdullahi plays the ball to nobody in particular. Zatuno's resulting pass is poor and City can come again, but he does get across the block. Oresti's attempted pass. Ball in the hands of Poliatides out there on the left flank. Throws it in for Najjar. Roseman boots it forward for Springvale. Poliatides tries to keep it in, but in doing so, he's just gifted the ball over to Springvale. And then Jovanovic plays the ball forward, but it's cut out by Hatzigeorgiou. Hatzigeorgiou, he's waiting for an option, and instead he'll just go long, but Lino reads it all the way and heads it back forward. Now Brady Quinn will collect. Nazarene has stolen the ball there now, and City can come forward, but Nikolic, quick as a flash, getting across there to deny the City winger. And they can come again, can the White Eagles? Throw into the White Eagles, according to the linesman. He'll just be forced to play it back, and then Springvale will attempt to switch it, but Valadon is there to get in the way. CMO was the closest man for Springvale. Now City with the ball at their feet. Abdullahi will play it across to Hatzigeorgiou. He'll play it back to the left flank. Karlich is there. And in the middle of the field, the CMO will immediately get across to cut it out. He'll look to play the ball behind the lines for Stefan Titsmil. City instead will come again, and that ball through to Najjar. Working against Zatuno. And then he goes down, and he's won his side a free kick. So now, perhaps, and it's actually produced the first yellow card of the game as well. Yellow card to Wiam Zatuno for Springvale. And now a chance for Melbourne City to perhaps another piece of performance out here as they set up some set-piece magic, or just something out there on the attacking left flank. Once again, it's Oresti and Nazarene standing over the ball. Nazarene, a left footer. So anything he puts in is probably going to be swinging away from the goals. It looks as though it will be Rami Najjarine delivering a ball in. You've got Dakuli and Najjar amongst those waiting in the area, but he'll play across to Oresti, but the referee's in the way.
It was a poor pass anyway. Referee's unfortunate placement, killing any chances dead, and then a free kick for Springvale. Roseman did take it quickly and was made to pay because he played it straight to a City player. Referee allowing play to continue, much to the dismay of the Springvale players, but they're coming forward again. Milan Jovanovic trying to chase the ball down, but he can't do so. So just over half an hour gone here at the Serbian Sports Centre, in the shadow of the Dunav stand, across from our broadcast position. Score is Melbourne City 1, a host Springvale White Eagles 0. It was Rami Najjarine making, as I said, a rare appearance at an NPL level, putting City ahead. Will go long. Cooley was underneath it, but he couldn't win it. Now the ball's with Quinn, who's been excellent so far. Gets it to Lino, who's also been impressive. We'll play through the lines for Siamoa. Siamoa has a ping, but Taleb gets across well. Didn't have, well, the first 5 minutes of Melbourne City's game against Ballarat last week. He didn't have the few moments to remember, nor did he in Ballarat's third goal, but he's been a lot stronger today, has Ahmed Taleb. Taleb, one of a number of City players in contention for a spot in head coach Trevor Morgan's side at the coming Under-17 World Cup. As that ball is played in behind, was looking for Najjarine, but at the last second, Nikolic gets a strong boot up to kill the danger. He's been aware of that all day, hasn't he, Nikolic? He's done well. Big collision there, and eventually Katsovic will come away with it. The Springvale captain trying to work his way through, but in the end, numbers went out. Nancy Giorgio puts it out for a throw-in. Brady Quinn will get it back to Lino excellently well. Jovanovic, just once again, you can see City had about 4 men around Milan Jovanovic there, able to get a boot in, but now Springvale can come again. Then on Nikolic, Jordan Siamoa, Brady Quinn tries a cheeky little back heel and he gets it to Lino, who will just go sell a bit of candy of his own. Siamoa, back and forth, but eventually Valadon will come away with the ball. One trick's too many by Springvale. Played in behind looking for Dakuli, but it's well hard. And this set, Saunders will get across to collect. Ball in the hands of Idris Abdullahi, another one of these Melbourne City players in line for a possible call-up to the Under-17 World Cup, which will be happening in Brazil in the coming months. Clearance from Lionel will go straight out, and Abdullahi will have another chance to throw the ball in and find the teammate. Jar under pressure is forced to put it out, and now Springvale can come forward.
Lino, the left back. What can he do with it? In the end, it goes out for the City throw-in. Springvale players saying it never went in. However, he was taken by Abdullahi, but Brady Quinn getting across the middle for his side. Now the pressure, he puts it out. Now City can come again. Karlich. He comes under immediate pressure from Cavadas. He's forced to bail out to Payos, who gets it across to Harry Poliatidis. Poliatidis for Aresti. Men running. Plays in behind for Dukuli, but Dukuli's not going to get there in time. Zatune just marshalling the ball out for a goal kick. Fell over himself, was able to collect. Abdullahi couldn't either. And then he wins it against the challenge from Quinn. So we go back to Tala, but Tala comes under immediate pressure from Titsmil. Karlich has got all the time in the world, really, and eventually he'll look up and splay the ball across with a long diag to Nazarene. And Nazarine's got time to look up and try to get something going against Lino. Comes inside, left-footed, cross in, he's headed clear. Here we go, come again, back Nazarene again, trying to flick the ball around. Delahi now, he'll put a ball in. Najar! What another save by Saunders. That's the second time he's denied Mooney Najar with a one-on-one effort. Najar picked out a yard of space in the area. The ball came in from Abdullahi, but his downward header against most goalkeepers at an NPL 2 level, that's a goal, but Luke Saunders today having absolutely none of it. And subsequently, City can't do anything with the corner, and it will be a goal kick to the hosts. Just go back to space. That's Giorgio getting back to collect it. And he'll find Abdullahi. Plenty of open areas here in the defensive third for City to have time frame, but then Springvale will switch on and close it down incredibly quickly. Seen a bit of both. Najar tries to play it behind for Dukuli, but it's well cut out. Najar will get a second bite of the cherry. Tries to just bustle through. Valadon. Chaos. To Dukuli. Dukuli working against Rosemond. He twists and turns, and he just goes back to Payos. Aresti. Dink over the top for Najar. Najar. Shot his blocked. He'll have another go. And he's won his side a free kick just outside the area. So pretty much inside the D at the top of the penalty area. So Milan Jovanovic having absolutely none of City had taken this quickly. We'll figure out what his opponents want to do. He's just going to stand right there and force the referee to walk him back. We've got Najar walking away, Nazarene there as well, Dukuli walking away, so it's going to be Aresti and Nazarene. Large wall assembled by the White Eagles. There's pretty much got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 men pretty much in a wall. Nazarene into the wall. And it did deflect off the back of Cavadas. Cavadas didn't know much about where it was going, but luckily for the former South Melbourne man, it went out for a corner, which City haven't really demonstrated much threats from in this opening half. is just sky high into the area, but City have a lot of things, but height isn't one of them, as the Eagles will clear the danger. Bit of confusion about where this throw-in for City is. Eventually it's taken by Abdullahi to Payos. Working against Lino, but Lino does well to force the ball out.
Abdullahi will have another go here. Deep on the attacking right flank. Gets it to Nazarene. Nazarene's touch. Lets him down. Gonzalez getting across. Just tries to gain a bit of space with the back here. There will be another City throw-in. Valadon comes with the pressure from Quinn. Quinn continues his pressure on Payos. Payos is forced to go all the way back to Hatzigeorgiou. Excellent turn from Payos. Across to Aresti. Aresti plays the ball in behind looking for Najar, but Saunders off his line, quick as a cat.
To collect.
Ditzmill. Looking against Hatzigeorgiou on that left flank. Valadon gets across as well, but Springvale number 9, Stefan Fitzmill, with three goals to his name this season. He's won his side a corner. It will be Brady Quinn, who is not the former Cleveland Browns quarterback. He's the Springvale White Eagles left winger, and he'll be taking the corner kick. It's got a head on it, but it didn't really go anywhere that he would have liked. But in the aftermath, City win a free kick. Dying stages of the first half. Score remains Springvale White Eagles 0, Melbourne City 1. 1 minute of injury time being signalled by the fourth official. Khaled just goes long. Najar flicks it on with his head, but Nikolic gets across to prevent Nazarene from collecting. The other side able to retain possession until Valadon gets to Nazarene in a bit of space. Nazarene's got time to look up. Comes inside the area. Attempted right-footed. Cutback is picked out by Springvale. I'll get it forward looking for Fitzmill. He can't collect. Payos does well to win it. Abdullahi. There's Abdullahi working against Quinn. He's just going to be forced to surrender space. And eventually surrendered possession, as it will be a Springvale throw-in. Throw-in. And that will be the final moment of the first half, in which City probably had the better of the chances, probably could have had maybe 1 or 2 more shots on goal if they were actually able to time their runs effectively, wandering offside numerous times. But they did find the lead in the end when a ball played in behind to an onside. Mouni Najar was flicked on by the big striker into the path of Nazarene, and Nazarene made no mistake in sliding the ball home. Springvale, they've been able to create a couple of chances, particularly coming down the left flank. Brady Quinn has been excellent for the hosts, but in the end they find themselves down 1-0 at the half. So from the Serbian Sports Centre, the halftime score is Springvale White Eagles 1, Melbourne City 0. Be sure to join us for the second half on the NPL Victoria Facebook and YouTube pages. back to the Serbian Sports Centre here in catch-up round of the NPL Victoria. Springvale White Eagles playing hosts to Melbourne City. Score at half-time. Here is Melbourne City, the visitors 1. Springvale White Eagles, the hosts, 0. Rami Nazarene putting Melbourne City ahead in the 22nd minute of play. In a contest where we saw Springvale playing a high line, City attempting to knock balls in behind them, but more often than not unable to time their runs. Springvale's best chance is coming up that left flank through the combination of Jackson Lino and Brady Quinn. My name is Joey Lynch. Thank you for joining us for the second half on the NPL Victoria Facebook and YouTube pages. As Mr. CMO getting across to cut out Rami Nazarene's attempted run forward, but City will get another chance to come forward. No, they won't. Ball is knocked forward by Zertune. Eventually City will win a free kick. So, as I mentioned, catch-up rounds here in the NPL 2 for both of these sides. This game initially set to be played a number of weeks ago, but was delayed after City had a number of players called up for the Australian under-17 side. See Cooley with the ball on the left flank, and he just cuts it back to Poliatidis, to Valadon. Valadon, ball to the back post, but there's nobody waiting there. Lino just boots the ball out in the direction of Quinn. Quinn trying to work around Abdullahi, but Abdullahi gets across the attempted 1-2. See Georgiou, but he's fallen over himself. That was definitely a shirt pull on Quinn, but play will continue. Jitsmil plays it all the way across to Kavadas. Kavadas, he's still going. Kavadas! Denied by Taleb. Fantastic save from Taleb. Fantastic move forward by the White Eagles. Working the ball out to Kavadas, who's scored 4 times already on this season. On the right flank, he cut inside and let loose with a venomous shot that Taleb did fantastically to deny and keep City's 1-0 lead intact as now the corner comes in. Hatzi Georgiou gets up to head the ball away. But will only go as far as Nikolic, who just turns and puts the ball back into the area, but it will go straight into the midst of Taleb. He's bounced back well from not one of his best games against Ballarat last week to make a number of key saves in this one. But that ball from Payos will force Abdullahi to work, and Abdullahi unable to keep it in. Quinn will leave it for Lino. Savage will work the ball across now, and then it will come out to Kavadas on the right flank. Kavadas has another go. He's inside the area, cuts the ball back, but Hatzi Georgiou getting across to clear. And then DeCooley unable to keep it in as it will instead be a throw in to Rosemond. Rosemond gets it into the middle to Milan Jovanovic. Jovanovic still with the ball, but eventually the weight of numbers is too much. City clearing, but only temporarily. Siamoa, former Nunawanning man, but Siamoa loses the ball. Najar now gets the ball run, but in doing so he's allowed Zertune to get across and steal it. As rain begins to fall here at the Serbian Sports Centre, it's with Aresti. He'll get it out to Abdullahi. Cuts inside for Nazarene. Nazarene leaves it. Shot for Hatzi Georgiou, who's all the way up from his centre-back position. Is Nicholas Hatzi Georgiou. He's got to get back quickly because Springvale can immediately break up the lines through Quinn. However, Abdullahi getting across wins his side of throw-in. Hatzi Georgiou. Karlic back to Hatzi Georgiou. Abdullahi. Lucente, a half-time addition for Melbourne City. No, that's Payos. Apologies. So Lucente still on the bench. Rosemond, as the rain really begins to fall now here at the Serbian Sports Centre. You can probably see in the background of the players, Najar attempts to run onto the ball. Excellent defending once again from Zatune to nick the ball out. You can probably see in the background the number of spectators quickly sprinting to find some cover. No such luck for the players. The City come forward once again. That ball intended for Oresti, but he's left it behind him. He's recovered excellently, has Oresti, and Valadon will play it across to Nazarene. Nazarene gets it across, but just wide. Nazarene on his non-preferred right boot there. The 50th minute of play, looking to add to his 22nd minute goal, but just dragging it across. By Springvale, as you can really see the rain coming down. Played back out by Abdullahi. Lano gets across the block, but it will go only so far as Payos, and then Payos will slide a ball in behind the defence looking for Nazarene, but Nikolic gets across. Quinn. Quinn was looking for Chitzmill, but instead it will be cut out by City. Aladon. Cooley. Stolen from him by Rosemond. Rosemond's attempted ball to Kavardis is in turn stolen by Poliatides. Poliatides has given away the free kick now, taken quickly by Springvale. Siamol. Just continue to be marshalled towards the touchline, and eventually City will win themselves a throw in a dangerous attacking area deep on that left flank. Aladon has it back to Payos. Back to Karlic. Payos had to move quickly. Quinn was waiting, he got it to Oresti, who in turn gets it to Nazarene, working against Lino. Dinks the ball over the top, looking for Najar, headed clear. Strong challenge comes in from Ketsovic. Ball is booted long, but it will go straight to Talo. And now we've got a bit of a scuffle behind the play. It looks like Ketsovic and Nazarene, some sort of disagreement. Najar frantically trying to play peacemaker, was holding the two players at bay from each other. Not exactly sure what happened. Did break out behind the play. Yellow card has been produced by the referee. It's in his hand. And it looks as though it will be a caution for both Rami Nazarene and Andrea Ketsovic. And it's going to be a free kick. Is it? And here, that's the cries from the players on the field. Free kick Blues. So after whatever that scuffle was, they said it was behind the play, City will have themselves a free kick in a central area. And once again, they'll huddle up. Maybe they're just cold. Najar wrapping his arms around his teammates, Oresti and Nazarene. And maybe he's just affectionate, big old group hug. 4 men in the wall for Springvale. Cooley and Najar on either side of it. Luke Saunders waiting in goal for the hosts. Oresti and Nazarene. Oresti will dink the ball over the top, looking for Cooley. Cooley, the wind took it. He couldn't get a volley on it. The ball is still floating around. The wind is really playing havoc with that ball in there. Eventually, Ketsovic will chase it down. Karlic gets a boot in. Now Ketsovic can get a proper chance to look up and play a ball, looking for Chitzmill, but instead, Abdullahi will just chest it back for Talo, who's just going to put a boot through it. Ketsovic again will head it forward, looking for Milan Jovanovic, but it's cut out by Oresti. Oresti plays a ball in behind, looking for Dukuli, cut out by Rosemond. Kavardis Coming across the field, but in doing so, he's lost the ball and was forced to just grab a hold of Aresti. Gave away the free kick. Now play's going to have to pause here as the Springvale player has gone down. Looks like CMO. Jordan CMO, former non-awarding player. Down holding his ankle. This is his 23rd appearance on the senior team sheet so far this season. Springvale playing today without the services of their captain, Nawaja Page, who was red carded in their loss to North Geelong last week. And as a result, misses today's game. Doesn't look as though we're going to get any sort of intricate set piece routines here, because it's just going to be real Payos standing over the ball. Nazarene is ghosted out to that right flank. Lino gets across to pay attention to him. There's Najjar as well. Payos will look to find Najjar, but it's gone behind him. Kavardis will just head the ball clear. And then Payos is just going to boot a ball all the way back to Talib. It was awkward for Talib in bouncing, and his intended clearance goes straight to Kavardis, but Kavardis is unable to bring it down. And instead City can come forward. Valadon trying to find Dakuli. Dakuli giving chase, but Ethan Roseman gets across instead and boots the ball out for a throw-in. Good defending from the club and defender. Valadon to Payos. Payos, two of the youngest members of this City side. Now Valadon is going to have to get back and try to defend against Ketsovic, but he's unable to do so. The big body winning out. CMR breaking through. Aresti plays the ball in behind the defence. Well, that's going to go very long as the rain, at least on some of the broadcast booth, briefly pauses before starting once again. As Hachi Giorgio brings that ball down and boots it forward for Nazarene. Nazarene turns inside and plays it across to Valadon. Aresti through from the yard, but the flag is up. So conditions becoming increasingly wet and wild here, as you can probably see on your screen, the raindrops forming on it. See if we can do something about that momentarily, but for now, the ball is booted long. It's headed down by Hatzi Giorgio, but Springvale will come away with the ball. Played out on the right flank to Kavardis, who's got time and space to try to whip the ball in, but it's Paliatidis getting across to cut it out. Kavardis not giving up, slides in, the ball goes straight up in the air. Valadon underneath it, gets it to Dakuli out on the left flank. Dakuli trying to run forward, but Roseman holds him up. And his challenge bounces off Dakuli and goes out for a Springvale throw-in. A free kick. Chitchmill just making contact with the heel of Carledge. The rain really coming down heavily now at the Serbian Sports Centre. Try to boot the ball clear, but it's cut out by Roseman. It's Ketsovic who plays it all the way out onto the left flank to Lino. Back to Nenad Nikolic. Nikolic plays a long diag intended for Kavardis, but it's headed clear by the City defence. Kavardis will get it again on the right flank, and he'll play a ball in behind for Quinn. Brody Quinn rides the challenge from Carledge and still going, but eventually Carledge able to stick a boot in and put it out for a throw-in. As thankfully the rain eases slightly here at the Serbian Sports Centre.
He puts it forward for Najar, who's come a long way back from the halfway line to win the ball, and eventually turns and tries to play it in behind for the Kuli, but Nikolic gets across well. Tuno plays it across for Kitsovic. Kitsovic out to Roseman. Roseman rides the challenge with Aladon, and his pass intended for Andrea Kitsovic is behind his captain, and it will be a City throw-in. Arrested. Najara. Nazarin is waiting for it. Nazarin gets the ball. Nazarin is through. Nazarin, but a strong save from Saunders coming off his line. It's gone as far as Abdullahi. But Abdullahi's shot is straight at the Springvale goalkeeper. Plays it up to Valadon. He'll get it across to Poliatidis. Miscommunication there. Neither of them wanted the ball. Allowed Kavardis to nick across, and eventually Kavardis wins his side a free kick. Played forward quickly by Kitsovic. Remember, it's immediately turned over. Nazarin tries to play a ball in behind for Abdullahi. Headed clear by Lino. Goes back out to Nikolic, who'll play the ball up the line then. Kitsovic comes under the challenge but rides it well. And he'll loop a ball out to the right flank for Kavardis. Kavardis coming inside onto his left boot. Puts it across the middle for Quinn. Quinn back out for Roseman. The teenage right back goes down under the challenge and wins his side a free kick out there on the attacking right flank. Just try to briefly dry off the camera for you all. Many thanks to the City staff here for letting us borrow their towel. Now a free kick here for Springvale on their attacking right flank. You can see men getting into the middle. Height advantage of Springvale perhaps coming into it here. Nikolic delivers the ball in, but it's headed on by a City defender. It will go out for a corner kick. Now, wouldn't you know it, the sun is threatening to peek out from behind a cloud. So, still windy, as you can probably see from the corner flags, but hopefully room for a spite of rain as that corner comes in. Bouncing around. Eventually the shot from Kavardis is blocked. See substitution being prepared by the hosts. Will be the striker Stefan Chichmil departing, being replaced by number 17 Alex Kubenko. So substitution being made just past the hour mark for the hosts as they attempt to get back into this one. Taleb's best clearance in the world. It's gone straight up in the air. But in the end, City not punished as it will be a goal kick. Springvale getting up high to defend this one. They're not going to allow City to play out from the back. Taleb will be forced to go long with the wind blowing in his face. You can
can see that kick really dies mid-air and it's headed back in. City eventually come away with the ball. Aresti has time to run and move, but he'll play a quick ball to DeCooley. DeCooley's timed his run. No, he hasn't. He was offside. And that's going to be something which the City bench, head coach Peter Kratke and co, will be absolutely furious. The break was on there. Aresti had all the time in the world. But his teammate, DeCooley, unable to properly time his run. Wing looking for Kavardis, but it's cut out by Poliatides, but Poliatides can't get in the way of that one, and Milan Jovanovic will play it back in, but only as far as Abdullahi. Rosemond heads it back. And that time he just puts the ball up high in the air off his boot. Jovanovic underneath it. Chips the ball back in. He was looking for the Kavardis, but Taleb gets in front of the ball and collects. And Abdullahi will play a long looping ball over the top looking for Rami Najjarine. Najjarine, but the ball is stolen from him. Excellently done from Nenad Nikolic. There will now be a throw in on that second left flank of Springvale to be taken by Jackson Lino. Nothing comes from it. Now it will be City with a chance to come forward from the throw-in. Ball in the hands of Idris Abdullahi. To maneuver, and he was looking for DeCooley. It's cut out by Rosemond. Poliatides then cutting that one out, playing it forward for DeCooley. He'll flick it on for Aresti and make a return run, but Quinn gets across, but the ball has inadvertently gone off the hands of Brady Quinn, and it will be a free kick taken, well, attempted to be taken quickly by City, but will be brought back. Aresti was looking for Valadon to maybe get something going quickly. Instead, they will reset across their back line. Lindsay Georgiou wearing the armband, goes around one man, plays it off to Abdullahi. He'll feint a ball up the line, and instead go back inside. Karlich. Aresti has time to turn and plays it down to Poliatides. Poliatides loops that ball in. It was somewhat dangerous, but Saunders watched it all the way, and then Najjar will give away the free kick as he launches himself into Saunders and forces the Springvale keeper into the net. Kavardis keeping his footing on the muddy surface down here on the right touch, but he can't keep the ball. Payos leaves it behind. Now a chance for Milan Jovanovic to get across, and his ball will eventually sneak through. First shot is blocked, second chance now for Springvale. Can they get it in? And it is in the back of the net. Taleb got a hand on it, couldn't deny them, however. And Springvale find themselves back at 1-1. It is Marko Stanisavljevic with the goal, one of the substitutes that has entered into the fray. City losing Gonzaman at the back post to allow the first shot. Was blocked, but the second one came in. Taleb unable to keep it out. And now the score here at the Serbian Sports Centre. Springvale White Eagles 1, Melbourne City 1. Briefly pause here as well, as there's been an injury. was Carlich down receiving treatment. Looks like he is following the trainer off the field. No movement on the City bench, however. Not sure if that means that he will stay on the field. No, he will re-enter the fray now as City just boot that ball long to allow their central defender to get back into the lineup. Gets across to cut the ball out, and then he'll just play a long ball over the top looking for Kubenko, who eventually collect. Kubenko goes around Carlich eventually, but he's won his side free kick there on the left flank. The challenge from Carlich deemed too rambunctious by the referee. Dangerous areas for City. Throwing numbers forward, can they find a go-ahead goal? Well, like that, free kick is taken straight into the wall, but another chance perhaps. Might be, however, as in that tussle for the ball, City have been awarded a free kick. Titus looking up, and his pass is poor, and they get another bite of the cherry. On this occasion, unable to keep it in, and it will instead be throw-in for the hosts as they make another substitution. Starting is Milan Jovanovic exiting, being replaced by Christian Sekulovski. So we've already seen one substitute find the back of the net for Springvale today. And we see another in the game's remaining 20 or so minutes. Rice with Desi over one charge, but the second one comes in from Aristian. Goes out, but Zitune quite happy to watch it go over the line for a throw-in, which he will then leave for Ethan Roseman. Long down the touchline. Taylor just forced to go long under pressure from Christian Sekulovski. Will give Springvale another throw-in on their attacking right flank, taken by Roseman, to just loop it long and high over the top. This resulting cross is to no one in particular, going out for the goal kick. See some movement from the City bench, players warming up, potentially change coming from City in an attempt to regain their lead. Najjar plays it back for Poliatides. Poliatides' attempted ball behind the line is cut out. Valadon though, he'll look for Najari, but that ball is cut out by Lino. Rain begins to fall again. Karlich will get it across to Poliatitis. We'll find the cool. Poliatitis looks the ball in. Nobody in particular, and then Nikolic just boots it clear. Hatzigeorgiou can't control the chest down properly. And it's a scramble. Sliding challenge comes in from Quinn, working against Aresti, and then Quinn will come away with it. Had his arm yanked by Jordi Valadon, who will receive a yellow card for the foul. The referee probably getting a bit sick of players reaching out and grabbing opposition players' arms. It's happened a few times in this game. And instead, Nikolic will look to spring his side forward in attack. He's going to get brought back or stopped because the referee has seen something that he doesn't like. Maybe he just wasn't in the right position. This time Nikolic will just play the ball across to Tuna. Again, will go off the back of Harry Poliatitis. Trying to find Aresti. Strong sliding challenge from Zatune. Zatune still going with it. Gets it forward excellently. Sekaluski's pass, however, is cut out. He's kept going to apply the pressure. Excellently done there from Christian Sekulovski. Pull this ball in. Cut out well by Saunders. Springvale probably have a lot of their thanks going his way for still being in this game. Made two excellent saves in the first half to keep his side in it, but now Valadon coming forward. To the pass. Well, he's still going Valadon. He's come in to apply the pressure to Zatune after his pass took a touch. Springvale defender does well to bring it around, but then it's Payos who's winning the ball. Roseman getting back to apply the sliding challenge. Going back to Lardis. Before Kubenko to make the run. Puts Abdullahi under pressure, but Abdullahi comes away with it. Aresti plays it to Hatzigeorgiou, and then Hatzigeorgiou looks for Rami Najjarine down the right flank. Najjarine's been quiet this half, but can he redeem himself here? No, he can't. Oh, he steals it off Nikolic. However, in doing so, he did yank the arm of the Springvale defender and gives away the free kick. City soon to bring on their first substitute of the game. Sovic plays a long looping ball out to the right flank, and it's gone out for a throw-in. Which goes to Karlich. Giorgio will look up, but eventually seeing nobody further forward. Will play to Payos. Plays to Abdullahi, and Abdullahi does play the ball forward, looking for Najjar. Najjar is getting back to apply the pressure to Nikolic, but Nikolic is able to turn him, and instead put Springvale forward with a long ball of his own in the direction of Kubenko, but Kubenko is fouled by Payos, taken quickly by Quinn, and it's going to come back. This time a yellow card shown to Payos for holding the play up. Quinn takes it now. Vukasovic, but it's again going to come back if City are going to make a substitution. Will be Daniel Lucente entering the fray to replace Yaya Dukuli. So it's taken until the 80 minutes or so mark for City to make their first substitution. Oh no, it won't get made yet.
City prefer to keep Dukuli on the field to defend this set piece. Kavadas gets the ball back, cleared away by Hatzigeorgio. Sovic will wind up, but he'll put that shot straight out for a goal kick, and now we will see the substitution being made. Made him move quickly, but he was able to do so, and now there's Valadon in some space in the pocket. To play it out to Leotitis. Lucente, but Lucente, that's not the kind of touch you want to make as your first impression on a game. Puts it out for a Springvale throw-in. Lucente hits the ball back into the danger area, but it's quickly cut out by Kacovic. 50-50 ball, which comes out to Lucente. Potential handball there, not awarded by the referee. Lucente and Payos trying to get something going on that left flank for City. It's going to come out to Valadon. Valadon will tee up from range. Valadon off the bar! Jordi Valadon almost producing the spectacular to give his side the lead. By all rights, Saunders looks to be beaten, but it's crashed off the crossbar and back into play, and now the host can burst forward through Kavadas on the right flank. He'll put a ball back in the middle looking for Kubenko. Eventually it comes to him. He'll just force to surrender space to Roseman. Valadon, clear pep in his step after hitting the crossbar, was applying the pressure. Kubenko's pass cut out, but it will eventually go to Kacovic. Kacovic is still going. Hatzigeorgio robs him, and now City can break quickly. Oresti plays it forward to Abdullahi. City players have to stay on side. They haven't been good at that so far this game. Nazarin in possession now. Back to Abdullahi, but Nenad Nikolic, as he has done on a number of occasions in this game, just serving as City's party pooper, putting it out for a corner kick. Will be measuring to deliver the corner kick. Men waiting in the middle. Jar standing next to Saunders in the goals. It's looped in towards Oresti at the back post. Oresti's first touch lets him down. He's going to have to go wide with it. Trying to open up the angle to maybe cross, and he eventually loops the ball in towards the back post, but Saunders gets out strongly to collect. Eventually he'll just boot this ball forward. Or it's going to go straight out and City can reload and come again. Giorgio. Trying to get a bit of triangle work going, but this fierce press from Springvale not making it easy on them. Eventually they'll maybe get the ball out to Oresti. Oresti comes under immediate pressure, but he then finds Nazarin. Back to Oresti. Oresti has some time and space and puts in a low shot. But in the end, absolutely no worries whatsoever for Luke Saunders. He's produced a number of fine saves today, but on that occasion, relatively straightforward for the White Eagles goalkeeper.
as that will be a free kick awarded against Lucente for an inadvertent handball. It's played long, but it's Abdullahi getting underneath and heading it forward. Oresti has time to turn. Polytitis making run on the left flank, instead it's ignored, and Oresti will look for Najarine, but it's just going to go very, very long. And Saunders will chest pass it out to Jackson Lino, and Jackson Lino has acres of space to work in. And he'll attempt to flick the ball over the top for Kubenko. It's headed back, but Springvale can still come with the ball. Until it was Polyatitis getting back to defend who stole it. Najarine now plays it forward for Najar. Najar is through. Najar is through. Najar is going to score. And Najar is going to give his side the lead late in this contest. He was played through by Rami Najarine, was forced wide by Luke Saunders, but he kept his head, did the City striker. Sliding a left-footed effort inside the back of the net here, late in the contest. Less than 4 minutes of regulation remaining at the Serbian Sports Centre. And now the score is Springvale White Eagles 1, Melbourne City 2. So disastrous for the hosts. They were able to get back into this game with the equaliser, and if we're all being perfectly honest, they've had the best of play in this second half, have the hosts. And now they find themselves needing to find another equaliser after Najar, who had provided the assist to Najarine in the first half for City's first. This time it was his turn to receive the ball from Najarine and fire home. Now Roseman coming forward, but his pass can't find anybody. Karlich cutting it out and then going on a bit of a run. He's a natural left back, so he does have a bit of skill. He probably wasn't intending to find Najar there, but Najar took the gift that came to him, and he had a ping with his that left boot. Went wide in the end. But you'd have to think at this late stage of the game, had Najar been able to find the net there, it would have been 3 points sealed for City. Just puts his boot through the ball. He heads it on. Najar unable to keep his feet, allowing Springvale to come away with the ball. And they'll pass up the line. Actually gets to Roseman, who plays it through to Kavadis. Kavadis has man in the middle looking for Brady Quinn, and then he'll play it across the field. Stanislavich had a ping. Did score Springvale's equaliser, but on that occasion unable to find the target. Najar playing that ball through for the Oresti. Oresti will punt it across. Najarine can kill it. And eventually Najarine does kill this game. He made them wait for it. Sense of anticipation built. And Najarine eventually, cool as you like, finding the bottom corner of the net to make it 3-1. And you'd have to say with that, Najarine's second. City will take 3 points away from Melbourne South East. Springvale White Eagles, as I said, throughout the first probably around 40 minutes or so of this half, they had the best of it, but unable in these final minutes of the contest to contain Mooney Najjar and Rami Nazarene, and the pair who have been predominantly training with the A-League side this A-League pre-season look to have done enough to give their NPL compatriots the 3 points here today. Now, could there potentially be a fourth? As that ball is well, you're not going to get a fourth one with that one. But Najjar perhaps bailing Nazarene out. Liner was there to clear. Najjar coming under pressure from two men, and eventually Springvale can come away with the ball. Perhaps probably should have been a free kick played against Najjar for the hold there, but the referee waves play on. And Vicente comes away with the ball. That ball will skittle everyone and go through to Saunders. Coming inside, he's still got a chance. Poliatides, he did wind up a right-footed effort, but it's gone well high. Now, as time continues to tick away. It'll be a goal kick to Springvale, which they'll take short. Taken to Cavardis. Cavardis, you can see there were 4 City shirts around him there after he received the ball and was unable to keep it, but Roseman knocked it back to City. The other side, it eventually comes out to Brady Quinn. Juju challenges him, and then Oresti feints a long ball and instead plays it short to Payos. Payos will play it out to Poliatides on the left flank, coming forward. He'll cut it back behind the Jean. Danger not cleared. Eventually, though, will be the captain, Katsovic, coming away with the ball. There'll be a yellow card there for the somewhat, poor challenge in the end. Katsovic kept his feet and kept going, with the referee deciding that that play had to get brought back. There are 2 balls on the field, as pointed out by City, but Springvale quickly getting across to play the ball clear. Every second precious for the White Eagles if they are to hold out hope of staging some sort of miracle comeback here. The Bandclock plays it back to Roseman. Roseman looking for a teammate, but it's headed clear by Payos. Payos heads it to Oresti, and then Oresti will play a ball over the top. Saunders coming out. Najjar giving chase. Saunders wins the race. Najjar coming inside. Strong challenge to steal the ball away from him. And then Zatune will just boot this ball forward. Cavardis loses the ball under pressure from Karlic. To Oresti, back heel from Nazarene. Can't find Najjar. Booted back out, but only as far as Abdullahi. Abdullahi's touch is collected by Kubenko. But it all just seems as though it's not going to go Springvale's way. They are competing for the ball in the middle, but then City come away with the ball as Nazarene winds up a half cross, half shot. It goes long. have to think any second now the referee is going to blow his whistle and signify the end of this one. Probably no moment too soon, as the clouds overhead are threatening once again. Ball booted forward. Kubenko gives chase, but Hatzigeorgio collects strongly. Ball played up the right flank, giving Nikolic and Najarina give something to chase, but that will be it. Full time here at the Serbian Sports Centre. The catch-up round has seen Melbourne City reverse a 2-game losing streak, running out 3-1 winners in the end. First half goal to Rami Najarin was cancelled out by the substitute Marko Stanisavljevic. However, very late on in this contest, in the final 5 minutes basically, it turned into the Najarin and Najar show. Najarin playing through Najar to give City the lead once again, and then Najarin took his time with it, but then sealing the game in the 90th minute with City's third. Means that City's quest to stay in the race for a top 6 berth and a spot in the second tier of Victorian football next season remains alive. But for now, from the Serbian Sporting Centre, the score has ended at Springvale White Eagles 1, Melbourne City 3. Thank you for joining me today on the NPL Victoria Facebook and YouTube pages. A reminder that you can now cross over to the Football Victoria Facebook and YouTube pages for live coverage of the Doherty Cup with Chris Gleeson and Josh Parrish on the call. A fantastic game coming up between the Melbourne Knights and Hume City. And a reminder that you can catch every game of NPL Victoria, NPLW Victoria and under 20s, as well as 2 select NPL 2 games every week on the NPL Victoria Facebook and YouTube pages. But for now, I've been Joey Lynch. Thank you for joining me.